Do it. All right, we're actually gonna play now. It's so stupid you have to do this shit. But, take the dub. Go play some victory music. Alrighty. Okay. Let me know if this sounds good today. Is my mic alright? I did a bunch more changes this last week because I was trying to get better voiceovers for that new video I put out. Is my volume alright? Voice sound okay? I don't sound like a robot or anything like that before I start my overview. Sounds good. Beautiful. Alrighty. Well, we are actually continuing. I'm not gonna unpause. Yeah. Just pray we don't crash when I unpause. I'm gonna unpause very briefly so I don't start ranting. Oh, that's interesting. And then, like, we crash. I want to go to the end of the week here. And then I'll start the recap. Fucking dub. Alright. So, we left off last time on the doorstep of the 20th century, with Sardinia once more taking her place as one of the world's most prominent powers on the planet. We are 4th in the great power rankings now that we've actually built a very strong economy, one of the strongest in the world, in fact, right behind the British and the Germans, both radical bastards at this point. Simon Torres is now in his older years. He is 70. Last session, we had a rather, we'll go of interesting course of events. Whilst fighting in Japan against the Chagatai on behalf of the Japanese, Simon leading his soldiers and taking Kyushu, news arrived to the most recent Torres monarch that his son, Lorenzo, had been involved in a rather controversial affair back home. The heir of our dynasty, the heir of our house, he'd always been a man of the church. He'd always been a man who held deeply his Catholic beliefs. The first really in many generations of Torres monarchs who were very religious. And he had even studied a little bit to become a priest at one point. Therefore, when we had news arrive on the battlefield of Kyushu that he had been involved with an affair with another priest in the clergy back home in Sardinia, Simon Torres took the radical but necessary choice to dispel and remove his firstborn son from the line of succession and banish him from Sardinia, where, yeah, I think it's allowed on Twitch. He committed suicide, given his actions and how publicly they had become. Given that, the grandson of Simon Torres is now our heir. He is the son of Alessandro Donato Torres, who is but 9 years old. Simon's in his older years. He's been a very successful monarch, leading, obviously, the civil war to push out the Bonaparte family underneath Napoleon II. Raised in Japan from a young age, he's been a very pivotal, interesting leader. Definitely not one to be compared to some of our greats in the history, but I think his touch is a much softer one, and almost a more influential one than many. I mean, it was by his hand that Torres rule was restored to Sardinia. It was under his hand we've probably had the greatest economic boom in the history of our family in 800 years. A jingoist, raised in Japan, studied in southern Italy, tough, ambitious, exploring liberty commander. He is a very competent, very influential, very powerful man, and he's still alive. At least for now. Beyond that, we have undergone an economic explosion, really around the last 20 years, but especially the last 15, with all the new types of technology coming along, allowing innovation, us being on more or less the cutting edge of a lot of technology alongside the Germans and the British. We have, as you can see here from our GDP growth, really grown very quickly. And in recent years, we have also finally reestablished and built up a proper, strong Sardinian Navy with 105 battalions and around 60 flotillas, which will raise to around 100 when they're done building up. We do not have by any means the strongest military in the world, but we're no longer what we were before, which was, what's the right word? Open to attack. We'll go with that. That's the simplest way to put it. Diplomatically, we still have a few allies, but there are very few. We did make an alliance of interest with the Scandinavians at the end of last session. Really a country we've had very little interactions with in many ways. There were some wars with them back in EU4 when we fought on behalf of Ruthenia, now Ukraine. and a few other of the HRE's wars, but we haven't had a lot of contact with them ever since. The alliance came primarily out of our mutual distrust and worry of the British, who were also an ally of ours up until very recently, until new elections in Parliament, given they are now a republic, resulted in the current government we now see, headed by, of course, the Revolutionist Socialist, an extremely radical far-left government that has gotten rid of our alliance, completely cut most ties with us entirely, and have also reconciled with the Germans, another extremely radical government. So given our mutual fear of both of these powers, we did make an alliance of convenience with the Scandinavians, which is really just about self-preservation more than anything else. We also do have a defensive pact with Savoy, though they are not very strong. We are rivals with now the British, the Castellans, and the French. We have trade agreements with the Mexicans and Sulawesi, which is in modern-day Indonesia to the east. We are in a customs union with Egypt and Somalia. Cuba, notably last session, leaving our customs union to join the German one instead, which has been very worrying. Just a reminder, a lot of the markets of the world have concentrated. The British market includes Castile and Louisiana, all of South America, and the Spanish. The French include the Scandinavians, as well as the Americans. And then the Chagatai include most of Southeast Asia, as well as the Japanese and their colonies in Africa, which have grown dramatic. Our own colonies are really still growing up in the north, but the rest we have been really pushed out by the Germans and the Chagatai. So, all right, long kind of overview there, but there's been a lot going on. So that's the current state of our country. As you can see, we're also about to go into civil war. Given when the civil war will happen, I'm probably just going to save edit to remove it. I don't mind running revolutions, and I think this one is semi-warranted, but given the combined total of this whole revolutionary movement, there's probably around 800,000 people in a nation of 53 million. And given they're about to secede with all of our soldiers and almost all of mainland Europe, I call bullshit. So I'll remove that manually. So yeah, let's get going. India is in pieces like every day. Yeah, they are. There's three really big powers there. It's Nepal, which kind of formed at the tail end of EU4 underneath the Gorkha line. There's the Maharashtra, which is really the power of India, technologically and economically, underneath also the Gorkha, and then the Sindh, which have been very strong for quite some time. The Mewar are pretty powerful too, also under the Gorkhas, and then the Palas, who we've been trading with pretty heavily as well. So yeah, that is about it. Alrighty, let's see if our trade routes are fucked up. Are you sure you have a kid that looks like a midget you accidentally adopted? Listen, Lysandro was not a looker. Our late son was not a very attractive man, and Donato Torres will be continuing in that tradition. Our capital, Sassari, is developing into the center of Art Nouveau style of art. Art Nouveau, mostly in connection with Italy, also Stila Liberty, is an art historical epoch in the turn of the 19th to 20th century. Currents that can be assigned to Art Nouveau, and Reform style, after the Reformist movement, the Secession style, Modernistimi, saying that wrong, in Catalonia, and Switzerland style Sapin, and the USA Tiffany style. In addition to the expression Art Nouveau, which is dominant in the French, English, Italian, and modern style, is also used in English and Stila Floreale in Italian. In terms of time, Art Nouveau belongs in the... I'm not going to try and say that. It's too French for me, and we fucking hate the French, so I won't be caught dead saying that. We got a lot of prestige and more musical tradition as well. Though, to be fair, the Germans and the British are still the musical centers of the world. We also have a lot of construction points. We're mainly looking to obviously build up our defenses. We have a lot of fortresses being built all over the western portions of North Africa and Italy proper, and we're going to be expanding our battalions and military even more right after this, and then we'll go back to working on industry. We really need to build up a large, prominent European army, given that we don't have the allies we used to. For a while there, we could kind of rest easy, given that we had alliances of interest at one time with both the Chagatai and the British. But given both of those are now gone, and our only defensive alliances with Savoy, who could field 13 battalions, and alliance with Scandinavia can field 81, we kind of have to protect ourselves at this point, so we are fully militarizing. Troops in Lazio have reported more and more confrontations with belligerent mobs. Fighting will likely break out soon, even if nothing is ordered. There are two ways to control the situation. Either pull the troops back or tell them to engage. We'll send in the troops. Suman has become even tougher in his later years. We will not be dealing with these in a half-handed manner. Revolts, revolutionary activity, and radicals will be brutally put down for what they are. Just a reminder, we have 4 major political parties in our country. The right is firmly in control. underneath Simon Torres. There is the Communist Party, which recently split with the PSI, the trade unionists and socialists split with the revolutionary socialists. And then the left, which is the radical liberals, professionals, and bureaucrats. So, really interesting state of our politics here. I love the Better Politics mod, man. Makes things so interesting. Yeah, a lot of people want women to have property rights, apparently. Sounds like radicalism to me. Listen, we love our wife, but it's not like she needs to own property or anything. I mean, it's basically German. We can't be German. Hyperventilator. Let me shoot you the mod set real quick, man. I don't think I have it currently on my commands. If my Steam will load. There we go. This is the mod pack. Because it is an absolute pain in the ass to add it, Moose. It's like, there's a lot of mods that you would think like, oh, why aren't these in the mod? These are easy to add. They're not. Better Politics completely changes every political party in the game. That means to add it, the modders would have to go through every mod and change the political parties to match Better Politics, to change vanilla to work with it, change it to work with the province changes we have from VFM, and a host of other issues. So, is it doable? Yes. Will it be done? Almost certainly. Will it be soon? Probably not. Ordered to violently suppress a popular revolt in Tirana. A battalion of the Albanian garrison has refused their orders, claiming that the execution of such a command would run contrary to laws of men and gods alike. Insubordination! We're gonna jail them all. Egypt doing a very Chad move there. You are very welcome. One last thing about the previous... Oh, God. I'll leave that to y'all. Yeah, also, we need to approach the developers for Better Politics and ask them. Most mods have been very cool about letting us use their mods. The only mod that really wouldn't just flat out refuse us was the Timber to Steel mod. But I'd already done our naval changes for that anyway, so we kind of have something to work with. And yes, America is still a monarchy. Okay, interesting situation with that. The late Ficomont Emperor of America actually died. He was assassinated with an in-game event last session. And in his place, there's now Guillermo Alfonso de Ficomont, who's a pacifist liberal with crippling mental afflictions. His current government is actually... Oh, he changed it. He did have the radical liberals in charge, but he has reformed it. He's gone back to a very conservative government. But for a little while there, after the assassination of the previous Ficomont monarch, there was a very liberal government in charge, which has been pushed out. So America's in a very tumultuous political era right now. I would imagine a lot of that has to do with probably like a lot of the southern states, which are made up of really not a lot of actually ex-slave states in this timeline, remember. There was very few slaves brought over from Africa to the American colony due to it being banned in EU4 by the American colony. But instead, there's a lot of basically Native American population in the southern states in this timeline who, similar, would probably be very much, obviously, politically disenfranchised. So I would imagine, I could be wrong about this. Let me look. That, let me look real quick. I'm curious now. Yeah, that's what I figured. I would imagine a lot of them are on the left, and I'm right. Most of the, basically, Native American cultures in the South, which are politically disenfranchised, are leading the movement for actually radical left governments. Well, that's fucking cool, dude. Look at all these Native American southern states that have all these revolutionary socialists. That's fucking funny. Oh boy, that's interesting. Yeah, so the French colonized America in this timeline. It was an ex-French colony. So it's a French monarchy, a French ruling northern kind of political apparatus, which rules over a larger America that never pushed west and has a large degree of like labor population in the South, made up of the ex-tribes that were all pushed south, but never, for example, were made to kind of make the March of Tears west, because there was no west owned by the Americans, so they all got stuck in these southern states. Kind of interesting. Sad, but interesting. Finland is currently half owned by Scandinavia and half owned by Byzantium. The Sami are alive, the Finno-Swedish are alive. There's not a lot of them. Alright, let's look at our trade routes real quick. I'm always wary of these. Because every time I change the mods, they'll just fucking completely switch. So, I'm gonna go check this real quick. We really don't have many trade routes, do we? Part of it is we're so hostile with many countries. We've been embargoed by a lot of the big economies. And most of the goods we're actually using internally at this point. We can get iron from the French. Wood from the Germans. That's about it. Export sulfur to the Germans. Disgusting, but we'll do it. Fertilizer to Mexico. Furniture to the Sulawesi. Instruments to the Mexicans, the Chagatai, and the Paganians. We make a lot of very fine instruments in Sardinia to complement our world-class musical culture in Sassari. Not quite as good as the Germans or the English, but it's still very much world-class. I'll buy some cheap Hosokawan and Sulawesi grain, see if they can export more of that to us. Men of war to the Chagatai. They still are not using ironclads. That's surprising, but very good to see. Alrighty. Oh, good. Dyes from the Chagatai as well. We've kind of run out of those. We can't really make them anymore. We need a lot of engines, but I want to work on those manually. Let's see if we can just get the cheap goods. That's what I want to import here if possible. Groceries we can make ourselves, well worth doing. Fabric from the French. Paper from the Chagatai as well. Good on everything else. Can we export any luxuries? Not particularly. That's fine. It would be cool if gold was actually a storable thing. Like, you could import gold from other countries to, like, raise your gold reserves, like, properly. Like, the only way you could get more gold reserves was literally just gold. That'd be really interesting. Because then you'd actually be able to, like build your economy on the gold standard properly. That'd be fucking cool. Probably a pain in the ass to make, though. Alright, we're looking good there. Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of it. Whenever it does that, like, that weird, like, zombie animation says subscribed, that's for YouTube. And it only does, like some of them. It's the weirdest thing, and I've never figured out how to get rid of it. As the flames of revolution encroach on Albania, a violent strike has engulfed the Tirana tooling workshops. Fearing escalation and further loss of profits, a cabal of Castellan shareholders have petitioned the government for immediate aid, offering the assistance of off-duty Castella's Gendarmerie station across the border. Castella is offering to help revolutionaries. We can't be doing that. Our own law enforcement is capable of handling this. We're still very much rivals with Castella after the Napoleonic era, so there's no way in hell we're gonna accept help over domestic issues from the fucking Iberians. Not a chance in hell. You have to raise taxes again here, too. Yeah, we really need more steel. That's mostly what our construction's coming out of, and I think the prices are inflated, which is going to be hurting our budget quite badly. Yeah, we have a deficit of 3,000. The price is up by 16%. So we can make coal, and then we can make steel after what we're currently working on. No, we cannot make more coal, but we can make more steel. We'll make another 10 in Campania. And we'll work on a bit more iron, literally anywhere we can build it. Which is one more. We're out of iron as well. I really wish we'd done better on the colonial game, but we just did not get in as early as the Chagatai in Germany, which has really cut us off from a lot of those raw resources we are now so clearly in need of. And it's really looking, like I said last session, like we have to fight a colonial war, but until either we get a much bigger, stronger military, or we get another big ally, that's just not an option for us, unfortunately. Really, the only big powers we could contend with and ally with are the Byzantines, who hate us, the French, who I will fucking die before we ally with, and I think our country feels the same, the Lithuanians, which is actually an option, or the Castellans, which we're also not doing, given that the radicals in Britain and Germany are just completely so dominant economically and militarily. And to get any more colonies in Africa, we really have to contend one of the two, or the Chagatai, which is not happening. Do you have your OBS connected to YouTube? No, I do not. I do not. I should go check Streamlabs again. I've checked it before to try and get rid of it. Hold up, let me go look for that really quickly while it's on my mind. Because that does bug me. I don't know what that would be. It's there. Weirdest thing. No. I'll go try and figure it out again later today. I've tried a few times to figure out what it was, but no idea. Somalia is in our customs union already. We're very close friends with them, so there's no reason for us to invade them. They're literally already in our economic union. Not them. Hold on. There we go. They've been doing quite well in our economy too. Look at that growth. They're making a lot of really cheap goods for us, which are really useful. And in turn, we've been probably investing with them and obviously helping into that. Yep, that's one of the heirs of Genghis Khan on the line of Somalia, by the way. The Borgians claimed a number of thrones in the post-Mongolian era, including the Byzantine throne after the Unification Wars. And they also got the emperorship of Ethiopia, which is now Somalia. With revolutionary sentiment boiling over across the nation, King Simon Torres' advisors and the village interests have recommended a package of reforms to appease the revolutionaries. What do they want? We're not going to do wage subsidies. Far too radical. They will be crushed. We're about to get the war. I will have to go do a little save edit to end this war very quickly. Because again, look at all the land they're about to take. With like 1/20th of the population supporting them. They're about to take all of that, so. Just where all our armies are. Whilst King Simon Torres was riding the carriage between Sassari and one of his country estates, a revolutionary threw himself under the carriage with a live grenade, slaying, oh fuck, both the king and himself? Oh no, man. Of all the ways to go out. Bro. Then, as if in a dream, a fog, it seemed to me that some young man, of small stature, was in a hurry to get off the sidewalk onto the pavement towards the sovereign's carriage, and hurled himself towards it. After which there was a deafening explosion. As soon as the crash rang out, the sovereign, the officers surrounding him, and the observers on the pavement nearby, they all at once fell. A cloud of white smoke obscured them all. Wow. Fuck, he just killed Simon Torres. Dude, he was one of my favorite kings. End of a goddamn era. Regicide? Hold on. Word mean what I think it does? Oh, okay. Not quite. Scared me for a second. I'm not even gonna read the bonuses. He's 10. He wouldn't be seeking revenge. He'd just be fucking terrified and sad his father's dead. Scatter the murderer's ashes in the river and mourn our beloved king. Fuck. Moment of silence for Simon Torres, the man came from Asia and Japan, placed his family once more back on the throne of Sardinia, and built probably one of the greatest golden eras, especially economically, in the history of our family. Take a moment of silence here. Hats off. God damn. A great man. A great man. Well, in the continuing tradition of our family, a child sits upon the throne of Sassari, Donato Torres. We know very little about the young man. He's 10 years old. Much like many of his ancestors, he has definitely a bit of a taste for the finer things in life. Business interest group, moderate politically, raised in southern Italy. He's not super well liked, but he's not hated either. He'd probably have a lot of, obviously, liking for him after the death of his father, who was, I'm sure, very well loved, especially in Italy proper. Not the time to have this happen either. So many revolutionaries in our country. Our nation is surrounded by radicals. The greatest powers in the world are radical and all hostile to us. A young Torres monarch coming to age in a time of much tumultuousness. That's not a word. Oh boy, I gotta give my a second to adjust here. I'm mourning internally a little bit. Dude, I get attached to characters in this campaign. I know they're like just, you know, a bunch of pixels on the screen and some code, but when you play roleplay games, at least me personally, I get very attached to a lot of the leaders. Oh, sucks when you lose them. When you metagame or you like, you know, you just map paint, you don't give a shit who's in charge. When you play a game like this, me, at least, oh, I get very invested in them. Alrighty. So let's also take a moment to think about what would even be happening in our country right now. We have a looming civil war by admittedly not a very popular faction, but you know, obviously when the revolutionaries beat the Torres brothers, you know, not less than 100 years ago, they also were not that numerous, so this could get out of hand very quickly. I feel like a lot of the revolutionaries, given many of them would be not as radical as some, would probably see like the act of like terrorism and bombing of the king as illegitimate and the wrong way. Like for the revolutionist socialists, they'd all be fucking cheering, right? But for a lot of the other factions supporting like the reformist socialists, the trade unionists, and maybe even the anarchists, right? They probably would not have been supportive of an action like this. Maybe some, but a lot of them would probably be second guessing the actions of the revolution, or at least have some moral qualms about assassination like that. That tended to happen with a lot of more moderate portions of revolutionary movements. But obviously the revolutionary socialists themselves, who are leading the charge for revolution, they'd be fucking dancing on his grave and be incredibly happy. There's almost 2 million of them now as well. The young king would not be in charge at all. He'd be raised probably by his political advisors and his mother, who would still be alive. Given that the conservatives are by far the strongest faction in the ruling party, we're going to have him taken under the wing of, oh god, Giuseppe Carraga. A tactful, experienced political operator who's tough, a great diplomat, and he has a bit of a predilection towards opium. Strong man, but hopefully his vices don't rub off on the young king. We'll say that Giuseppe is more or less kind of going to be politically not in charge of the country, but more of the leading element, and obviously be teaching our young king the political and economic parts of things. And then what economic group do we have in power? The business interests. Underneath Mikhail Barberini Colonna. Kind, inventor, well-traveled, imperious, with psychological affliction. Who's a royalist. Everyone hates him, but he is loyal to us, which is what matters. The radicals thought that was going to get more people. It would probably backfire spectacularly, considering the king was beloved by the people. Yeah, he had a very high popularity, so that would definitely have helped the cause. So Colonna and Giuseppe will more or less be guiding young Donato. I'm gonna think of pizza every time I say his name. There's a Donato's right down my street. It's an American pizza chain. I think it's American. Probably. Alrighty. Well, the era of Simone is over. The era of Donato has begun. Just in time for the turn of the century, too. 2 years away. Yet again, our colony's resetting. Love you, Victoria 3. Legacy of Regicide destroyed our authority, too. Alright, we're gonna have to stop a lot of our programs as well. We'll get rid of our health initiatives in mainland Europe. We'll remove our literacy campaigns. And then we're going to stop suppressing the less radical portions of the PSI. And we will raise taxes as well. Which will not help with the revolution, but there's probably a stock market crash after the king's death. I mean, radicals threatening revolution, assassinating the king would almost certainly result in a stock market crash. So we'll raise taxes to compensate with that, and we'll halt trading for the moment in Sassari. Check all of our PMs here as well. Yeah, everything's more or less right. Yep, looks good. Oh. We can send another expedition to the Pacific as well. That's very manageable. This is the second one we've sent to the Pacific. In honor of the death of Simone, a man who in his younger years explored the jungles of Borneo and was always a great proponent for exploring the Know World and finding anything wherever curiosity may lead the enterprising explorer. In honor of his death, King Donato will, several months after his father's funeral, be on the docks of Sassari, where he will be sitting on an expedition, similarly to the one Simone sent in his younger years of his own rule, to map more of the Pacific Ocean and find more scientific specimens and knowledge. We will send Cordino Coletta on this mission as well. A way to honor the old king and keep us on the cutting edge of oceanography and botany. Beautiful. All right, last of the steel. What are we going to need after that? Obviously, we need more iron, but we can't get any more. We need more engines, badly. We need another 1,200. Each of them give 40. We need another fucking 30. Jesus Christ. Expand our railways a little bit, given we're about to centralize even more of our industry in the hotbeds. Tuscany, Campania, Napoli, and Sassari have kind of become the industrial heartlands of modern Sardinia. North Africa is not as relevant really as much as it used to be in many ways, with the incorporation of Italy proper and all the wealth and more educated people there and jobs that are possible. Engines will hopefully get down some of our income deficits here. We have a much larger military, what's really causing us to struggle economically, but we kind of have to maintain it, right? For a lot of reasons. Like 3 Suns came out, and I got the Danish Greenland Company. I got Japan. Ooh, fuck yeah. Oh boy. I've got a really fun Japan playthrough planned for this Vicky 3. I'm happy I got it. I promise it will be as spicy as it's gonna be fun. Yeah, the full list is out. It's a thick Asia as well. Who's the Ching? Fucking cheese is the goddamn Ching. Oh god. All right. With the big powers, USA is Sting. That's surprising. Fuck yeah. Imbo got the Ottomans. Oh boy. Hands are on Russia. All right, this will be an interesting game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Fallon on UK. We were chatting a little bit about it earlier when I was at the mod meeting. I'm excited to see his Britain. Yep, Cheese is already DMing me. All right, that'll be interesting. We got a fun Ching player. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but I've already planned out like what I kind of want to do for the early part of the next Vic 3 campaign. So that'll be fun. We're gonna try and be Mexico. Was it not already assigned, Moose? The capital is still Sardinia, Shay. Yes, it is. It's still in Sassari. There is still disagreement as to whether the research expedition would have a focus, and if so, which field the trip should focus on. We're going to focus on nature. Another one. A minor member of the Carsa Sardinia nobility has been assassinated by revolutionary forces at his estate in the Western Sahara. The surviving members of his family are demanding reprisals. They really have no moral qualms, do they? Assassination is the coward's way. Like our father, they have spilled more royal blood. We're going to declare another state of national mourning. These radicals need to be put the fuck down. Can we exile their leader yet? 14 more months. Just a reminder, back in the last session, I also kind of created this problem. Because, like, to try and basically get a less charismatic leader of the Revolutionary Socialists, we exiled the previous one. But then we got Emanuela Cattaneo, who's much more competent. She's imposing and an inspirational orator, both of which make her faction way stronger. So we replaced a fairly competent leader of this party with, like, you know, the Lenin of Sardinia, essentially. So, kind of shot ourselves in the leg there. Oh Christ, our bureaucracy's fucked. Economically, we're starting to get in pretty hard shape here again. And we're already at max taxes. I mean, I could decrease our construction. That's one option. Synthetic silk research. God damn it. What the fuck is this? Only 6 more months, and then we'll get rid of half of our deficit. That's acceptable. Electrical generation. It is possible to capture the very essence of lightning and use it to power all sorts of different types of machinery. We got actual electricity. Huge. Huge innovation there. We would obviously not be the first nation to have it. I'm sure Germany and England already do. Let's go for reinforced concrete. And the first thing we're going to do now is try and obviously build electrical generation in the capital and power the capital city with street lamps, which would be really the moment we enter the modern era, right? And then we'll do the same in Campania. And then in Tuscany and Lazio. Big moment technologically for us. We are very up to date. I think we're not very far behind the Germans at this point. A band of revolutionaries, rumored to affiliate with the trade unionists, have overwhelmed a minor garrison in Sicily, leaving 24 soldiers dead, and running off with crates full of rifles and ammunition. even wheeling off a small caliber cannon. We'll try and go after them. There's a possibility to add a special scientist to the expedition as long as he has the appropriate qualifications. Surveyors, naturalists, and paleontologists and astronomers are wanted. We'll send an astronomer, Ignacio Vernazza. Yeah, a really small portion of the population taking very radical action can overthrow a government. You don't need as much as you think you do. Well, in this time period. Modern times is a bit different. Let's go for pre-dreadnoughts. Keep our navy absolutely cutting edge, given we need to be able to defend our nation in case Germany invades through Italy, or the British try and contend us with their massive navy, which is 2.5 times the size of ours. Probably closer to 3, actually. Let's do steel reinforced fortresses as well. I don't think there's any other PMs we could upgrade from that, is there? Can't remember now. Nope. We could build Christ the Redeemer, but we're not Brazil, so. And we're not religious enough. Preparations for the Pacific expedition are complete. Corradino Coletta has chosen the blank as his flagship. The journey will go down in history under the name The Expedition. Unique. We'll sail to Indonesia and Melanesia. Good place for stargazing and where we have colonies, so it'd be good to chart that area a little bit better. Especially given such an important area for trade. I know we're in rough shape, but I'm just generally curious if it's possible we can take Castile and Greece or some of the French colonies. So the problem is the hug boxes the AI are in, right? Castilla has an alliance with Provence in the south, but the important thing is they have a defensive pact with the British, who we absolutely cannot fight. The Byzantines we could actually probably fight. The main problem being that they have a stronger military than we are, which we can't really contend right now. So going after Byzantium proper would be possible. We're going to attack more of the Italian states when we get our AE down a little bit more and our heir comes of age. We've already fought a few times with Lombardy and Ferrara for land. So the issue is that a lot of these countries that surround us have alliances with the British or the Germans. So it's just kind of a tough situation. Whoa, for us. American liberal revolt in the north. I was thinking the south would revolt. It's the northern states that revolted. Anarchists, radical socialists, and revolutionary socialists have revolted in New York, and Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. Oh no. The British might join the revolutionaries. The French have joined on the side of their old colony, though, so the French are in the war. No. No, the British can't join anymore. Wow. The North revolts. Like, I would not have expected that. Wow. All right, our economy is getting pretty out of hand here. We can need trade agreements, possibly. Whoa! The Dutch would switch to our customs union? They have become much more friendly with us in recent years. They have radical liberals in government, though. Oh. They really like us. Full political operator, diplomat. Progressive liberals. I mean, Those aren't the worst. Republican, liberal, egalitarian, and anti-slavery. Pretty liberal, though. Expand resource industries, advance egalitarianism, and defend the borders. It's a very cooperative government, though. Like, even the reactionaries and the conservatives are actually fairly happy and cooperating with the ruling party. So it's not like this is just a radical government that's taken power and pushed everyone out. They're actually cooperating with the conservatives. Fucking lowlands politics is always so weird. It's their laws. Suffrage. Laissez-faire, we'd like that. Mercantilism. We would not like that quite as much. You're not incredibly radical. This is tough, though. Getting them to join our customs union with their economy would be very useful, but they are a little liberal for our taste, especially given the Civil War. So, first poll of the day. What that means. You are all members of the political and economic advisory committees to the ruling government, which obviously Donato Torres would be at, but is obviously not running things. So really, you got to remember that this decision is being made by really two prominent people and a couple others. It's being made by Giuseppe Caraga, tactful political operator, experienced diplomat, tough, and opium addicts. Probably that last one wouldn't factor in too much. And then the business interests, which would be Michelle Barberini Colonna, kind, inventor, well-traveled, imperious, psychological affliction. So you can kind of decide for yourself who you'd be representing here and make the vote, or you can just choose what you want, though I always recommend you make a roleplay decision. Poll is up. What's up, Shadow Slayer? Yes, you can. I always forget to do these polls. I always like to do a couple every day. I do the grand campaign, but sometimes I forget or they just kind of don't happen. But anytime there's a tough roleplay call like this that I kind of, you know, think is interesting and kind of really important, I always like to make it a poll. I think it's more fun for y'all. Y'all gotta actually choose where the grand campaign goes. Isn't there a syndicalist revolt in Kaiserreich too around the Rust Belt? Yeah, there is. The United Syndicalist States of America, who their capital was, I think, in Chicago, and they were in primarily the northern Midwest. Kaiserreich's a great mod. Yeah, this is a Regency Council. He's too young. He's only 10. Obviously, a lot of the parties in power would have control in this current government. The military would have power too, right? So let's look at that really quickly. The main general, Simon Torres himself, led the majority of the Sardinian army for most of his tenure. So he was kind of really led from the front, right? With his death, the leading, obviously, general would be General Corradino Palmieri, who was a hedonist, mountain combat expert, artillery commander, and then the leader of our navy, the main admiral, would be, of course, Augusto Smeducci, the Chad himself, who was ambitious, a convoy raider, and a dockyard organizer. And a technocrat. Wow, that's fucking cool. This is like non-ginger Tommy K of Sardinian timeline. If Tommy K could actually, like, use Navy properly. Chad Beard. Yeah, the business interests would be probably the most powerful besides the conservatives. But given the business interests would have more of the economy kind of behind them, they would probably be the most influential. So I'd say politically, the most influential member of our current Regency kind of government would be Michele Barberini. But in terms of influence over the young king, I think it would probably be Giuseppe Caraga who would have the most influence. Oh man, economy actually won. Overwhelmingly too, my gosh. All right, fair enough. So the advisors of the Regency Council have agreed that the economic benefits of the Dutch into our economic union to compete with the other major economic blocs of the world at this time and potentially gain a strong ally sitting right between two of the radical governments, the extreme governments in Europe, would be very useful. Shay, you might want to try refreshing your Twitch. Sometimes it'll do weird things like that, would be my recommendation. Alrighty, let's make the offer. Let's hope it's still there. It is. We'll make the offer. An ambassador has traveled from Sassari to Amsterdam to treaties with the current ruling party ruled over by Wilhelm van Colverden, who is, despite being fairly liberal by modern standards in this era, he's not a radical by any, he's literally radical, never mind. He's radical in a moderate fashion, in a progressive liberal fashion, you know? He wants women to have rights, fucking crazy. He wants his people to have high standards of living and actual money in their profits, even more crazy. But he's not calling for, like, you know, the murdering of monarchs, the removal of religion from countries, or anything like the Germans. We can work with him. He's a reasonable enough guy, even if he's obviously a little far out there. Economics over politics, with the business interests in charge. So, we'll see what we get back for them. Bros, the one voice against here, arguing against radicalism. Gold depleted in Zambia. That's unfortunate. Fuck, we need an economy. Yeah, they do, don't they? He'd be exactly the kind of guy we could work with. Tactful political operator and diplomat. That's exactly the kind of guy who would be willing to make this call. We'll say in the roleplay that they didn't formally offer it to us, but we heard behind closed doors, probably through connections of obviously the leader of the business interest, I keep forgetting his name, Kulana, would have been privately approached by members of the, various economic interests in the Netherlands that a deal like this could be made if we reached out. So we offered terms. And Colverden and his government are now obviously discussing whether or not they wish to do this, unless they already did it. They already did it, so they did agree. Beautiful. They have entered into our economic pact. Dissidents in Sicily have announced plans for a major march around government offices in the near future. While they profess peaceful intentions and claim everyone will be unharmed, the march itself will obviously serve as a rallying point for those unhappy with the government. We are not going to allow the march. Not a fucking chance. There's some other countries we can get into our economic pact as well. Provence will join, and Savoy would both as well. Not huge economies, but significant ones. And given obviously we're looking to expand our influence, a general military junta in Provence, and then obviously the Dukes of Savoy were friendly with both, so let's offer them entrance into our economic pact. It is come and leave as you will. We'd have to give them an obligation. I think that's fine. Not the end of the world. Same with Sulawesi, why not? They have a lot of really cheap Asian goods we could use. So, given the Regency Council is not ruling outright, they've obviously taken much more economic decisions and are really doing some things that probably Simon would not have, given his much more conservative, old school, hardliner stance against the sort of radical governments. Lithuania would give us a defensive agreement? Am I reading that right? No, I'm not. Brazil would for an obligation. We'll do that. I don't know actually how we lost that. No, we can't. We already owe them one. Canada would. Really? Canada? Look at those fucking sideburns. A wrathful, uncouth lawyer with the mega sideburns. Really mutton chops, I'd say. Despite how good his beard is, we're not going to give him a defensive alliance. How strong is Provence? Strong enough a defensive pact would actually be useful. Like I said, we're also really looking for allies here. We've got a lot of very strong enemies and almost no allies right now, so we'd be pretty close to desperate, I would say. Gran Colombia might give us a defensive agreement too. They're very strong. Underneath Magdalena Garcia. Their government is also actually very conservative by all standards. They'd be never a good ally. We'll say that the leader of the conservatives is orchestrating all these political moves, given that he can kind of operate how he wants now that Simon is dead. Probably for the betterment. We're giving out a lot of obligations, but if we can secure ourselves from just outright attack, it's going to be worthwhile. Yeah, that's about right. Mexico would actually give us a trade agreement, I think. Sure. I think. Or do they want an obligation? We will find out. So Luis has joined our customs union. Savoy has joined our customs union. Provence has joined our customs union. The short term, this will hurt us, but long term, politically and economically, it will be worthwhile. No allies and lots of enemies. So basically, just all of Torres history. Yeah, that's about right. It's been worse, to be fair. Why does Chagatai own half of Asia? Because they're a successor state to the Mongols, who remain technologically up to date with Europe for its whole history after the Mongolian Empire collapsed and invaded the Qing and established a new Muslim dynasty there. They're Islamic, by the way. They're Sunnis. The original successor state to the old Genghis Khan is actually still alive too. They are Orthodox Christians, ironically. Still the same dynasty, directly descended from Genghis Khan. They're actually still pretty strong, but nothing like the Chagatai. Some years are construction moving incredibly slow. Yeah, Chagatai have been terrifying since mid-EU4. Probably early EU4, really. Now it's gone. Okay. Just feels very slow. Giving women's rights is pretty popular. We're going to decide this based on the traits of Donato when he comes of age. Obviously, I think at this point, women's suffrage would probably actually be a pretty big movement in our country, given that it's been actually already allowed in several big countries, both, I think, radical ones and not radical ones. Let me look. Radical leftist Britain actually doesn't give women property rights. That's crazy. Germany does, of course. Maybe not, actually. I mean, it's definitely a political movement in our country because I've seen it in our political menu. Lithuania gave women property rights before the rest of Europe. The fuck is this timeline? So Lithuania and Germany are the only ones, I think, who have done it from the looks of things. So it's actually not as common as I thought it was. Mexico has. They're very liberal. Free trade, liberal, democratic, like Mexico. I really like Mexico in this timeline. They're super interesting. What about Brazil? Brazil's given women rights as well, and we're a close ally and trading partner with them. Gran Colombia. I like how the Americas are like light years ahead of Europe in politics. Canada too. So yeah, given it's not huge in Europe, Germany and Lithuania both have given women property rights. It's very common in the Americas, which we trade a lot with, right? Politically, you know, and economically. So we'd have a pretty big suffrage movement probably developing in our country. If we look at our politics, we can also see that we have it. Holy fucking Christ, dude. At an event to commemorate the opening of the ornamental garden in Sassari, a revolutionary detonated an explosive device near Donato Torres. Whew. The king survived, but the assassin died of his wounds before testifying. As soon as the bomb detonated and the explosion split the air, the crowd was already on the would-be assassin, heedless of their own wounds, bearing him down, beating him with their bags and fists. People of Sardinia, Corsica, I did it for you, shouted the assassin, but it was to no avail. So Donato survived, but he's now scarred. So he was caught in the blast, but it was not too bad. He's slightly disfigured now. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Watch as the Torres line gets ended by terrorism in the early 20th century. Wow. It made him more popular. The radicals be like, listen, we know we're not going to win the Civil War, but if we keep killing kings, we're going to rule eventually by sheer numbers. Wow. Our monarchy is struggling right now. We need to really go for stronger domestic security. Secret police we have. We need to give them more resources. We need to level up home affairs. To do so, we'll need to get more bureaucracy. I'm going to lower our colonial affairs investment actually to 0, basically. And with those bureaucratic resources, we're going to put it all into home affairs. We'll get more when we get rid of that event that's lowering it as well. Our government, after the assassination of our previous king and the almost killing of our current young heir, would be scrambling to try and give the police more resources to go after these radicals and terrorists. Yeah, true, he is just a child. What's up, Trip? How you doing? Trying to kill our 11-year-old heir? Who kills a child for their beliefs? Besides radical leftists, which these are. And radical rightists. And radical middleists, too, I guess. Oh my god, our economy. It's the construction goods that are killing us. The radicals are completely slowing down construction efficiency, too. Oh yeah, man. Good to see you as well. Hope things are good in sunny California. True, Walrus. It would have been a very traumatic experience for the king, right? Donato Torres, he is a moderate politically, right? But I think roleplay-wise, he'd probably be walking away of this. He might honestly get PTSD. It wouldn't be, like, unrealistic for him to get psychological affliction, not gonna lie. But I guess he didn't get that. So he's made it tougher stuff. But he's probably, I'm gonna roleplay that he has pretty much a lifelong hatred for the radical socialists. Given he's a moderate, I don't think would just be, like, a blanket hatred for anyone who's not conservative. But specifically for the radical socialists, given that they killed his father and almost killed him, he would hate them with a burning passion, right? Like, he'd want to see them suffer beyond belief. Oh, God. Oh. The radical Germans have a revolt from an even more radical government. I guess Germany's liberalism was not enough for the radical Hilch? Hilch? I don't know how to say that. Too Eastern European. What's a biotical? The king was assassinated by radicals. He was blown up. And his son is in charge, 11-year-old heir. He also just almost died from an assassination attempt. He was left scarred and disfigured from another makeshift explosive. The radicals are getting absolutely out of hand in our country. Can we exile that fucking Lenin yet? 8 more months. God damn it. Really, there should be a button to execute her. To be able to... We can build a skyscraper? Not that we had the bureaucracy for it, but when we do, we can actually build a skyscraper in Sassari. Whew. Or would we build it in Napoli? Because Campania is technically actually a bigger industrial hub, but the bureaucratic apparatus and center of our empire, I think, is still Sardinia. Let me look. It would be more, I think, bureaucratic rather than industrial. That's kind of what the game suggests, at least. Maybe not. 10 government administration in Sardinia. And 25 in Campania. It's a much bigger city, too. 3 times the size. Alright. We got our second poll of the day. Everyone in chat, you are now advisors to the business interests and or architects being basically questioned about the building of the world's one of the world's first skyscrapers. And the discussion to start off with is its location. Obviously, Sassari is the traditional capital and still capital of the empire, or the kingdom now, I guess. But Campania and Napoli are really the industrial heartland and the government heartland of the country nowadays, especially with the economic move to mainland Italy and how dominant they are in our political apparatus, right? So, what do we think, folks? What do we think? I don't actually need to keep a pause, do I? Alright. God, we need bureaucracy. Do we actually have something lowering it? Or are we just fucked here? Yeah, national mourning, 5 more months. That's really screwing our bureaucracy. God, our country is in such chaos, isn't it? Yeah, so we have to get rid of... Where is it? Five months, we'll have another 5% bureaucracy, which is going to be 400 plus what we're getting rid of for colonialism. We'll have a surplus. We can build the skyscraper, and then we can put more resources into expanding the secret police. Why not Pisa? Never heard of her. Never heard of her. Napoli also is where the revolution's most popular, but to be fair, most of the citizens there are not radicals. Most of them are just workers, engineers, scientists. Germany also making a very Chad play here. German Chad. He was winning the vote. Oh, it's close. It's very close. My gosh. Napoli has won it. All right. When we get the bureaucracy, we're going to begin to plan construction of the skyscraper in Napoli, which is the industrial heartland of modern Sardinia. Struggling people in Carsa, Sardinia, Azores have been desperately trying to get their hands on any food they can. Dire warnings of a turnip winter have been spreading throughout the region. We'll try to increase food production there. The revolution has actually kind of halted. I think probably all the attempted killings of monarchs have made them kind of lose a lot of their fervor. Besides the really radical radicals. Radical radicals? The radicals rigged the vote. Do you want to give us all the Sinai because of the same population, Griff? Glitcher, am I misremembering? You're completely right, I just forgot to do it. Simply put. Remind me to do that save edit when I try to get rid of the revolution if it fires. Or I can just do it at some point. See if we can fix it. Civil war in the Carsa Sardinian Indonesian company in Asia. So this is the second liberal revolt we've had in the company in the last 5 years, I think, actually. The crew of the expedition led by Commander Coletta has safely reached the waters of Java and will start its research work shortly. All right, let's go ahead and send a contingent of forces to support our allies in the company. We'll send Palmyra. And then we will send Persico to support in the south as well. We also need another big general to commandeer the forces of Italy proper. These are really shitty commanders. I'm going to be firing both of these. Don't worry. Ooh, Giulio Garcia. He's solid. I'm going to fire the other two. Where's the radical? Where's that little fucker? There he is. Other Smaducci. We'll retire both of those. And then we will utilize Garcia. I'm going to... Him? Ignacio Garcia needs to be fired too. And then we will promote Giulio Garcia. Reserved and a pillager, he will command the main portion of the Sardinian army out of Italy proper. As you're totally not biased advisor, totally not paid by the Scandinavians, I suggest deporting the Pope and embracing the Lutheranism as your state religion. They're not Lutheran in this timeline, I don't think, are they? Another Protestant. More rubber in the tiny colonies we have in the Nile Basin. Oh man, they're struggling. How long until forces reach? I thought Lutheranism was a different type of Protestantism. I know Protestantism is an overarching term for a lot of different Christian branch-off religions, but I thought that it was also kind of like standalone. Yeah, it's a sect. Okay, I thought so. What's up, mage? Yeah, been a busy couple weeks, but we are back at it. I gotta follow Comrader Robin. Finishing your thesis. How's that gone for you, mage? Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll name the skyscraper after Simone. What would be a good name? Something that incorporates Simone's name. Simone's skyscraper is a little too simple, isn't it? The Simone building. Is anyone more creative than I am? It was a very stressful month, to say the least. I can imagine finishing your thesis is very intense. How's it gone for you overall? Have you had it overseen yet, or has it been under review yet, or are you still waiting? Simone Sky? Simone Memorial. Torres Tower. That's a good one, too. Can one of my mods make a poll from these suggestions for what we're going to name the skyscraper in the lore? I can do it if not. We need a lot more dyes as well. I don't think we can make any more dyes, can we? No, we cannot. That's a problem. That's a big old problem. 7 days. I know I fucking sent that other commander to the front. God damn it. No, he's coming. Okay. Bugged front lines. And your Protestantism has never really been unified. Wasn't... Oh, I forget. Dude, I was fucking raised as like a branch off of Protestantism as well. I should know this. But isn't there like a couple different denominations of branch off like Protestantism that still just view themselves simply as Protestant? Or am I wrong about that? Because growing up, my mother always referred to us as just Protestant. I mean, we were a subsect. I forget the name of it, but... You know, very weird. Maybe it's different in America. Or just where I was from. The Tower of Reclamation, that's a good one. It's called a graduation thesis. There isn't really publishing or anything. It's just my supervisor gives me a pass or fail. Really, Mage? You don't have like a board that oversees it or anything like that? That's not as bad then. Huh. Pico Celeste di Simone for a name. It means Heaven's Peak. That's a really fucking good one. Not gonna lie. Alright. We are not quite as bad of a deficit as we were before, but it's still not great. How long until we lower our colonialism institution? A long time. Probably around 30 weeks. Half a year. I'm waiting for the downfall of the monarchy because it's been foreshadowed from like EU4. It may happen. It may happen. We'll see. It's non-thesis, so they decided to torture students by writing long-ass papers. That's fair. That's not as bad. Do you know what specific sect? I'm trying to remember. Wasn't Baptist. The fuck was it? I think it started with a B, though. We moved religions when I was a kid. When I was really young, we went to, like, full-on Christian Protestant churches. And then when we got older, I think my parents got more liberal. Or my parents kind of made an agreement, because my dad's an atheist and my mother was quite religious. Maybe they came to an agreement. We started going to much more like moderate churches. Like Unitarian Universalist is mainly what I remember when I got older. But the original sect, what was it? See if I can jog my memory and look through the names real quick. It's been forever. I became a very loud and annoying atheist when I was like 9, so it's been a while. I think it was Methodist. That I may be wrong, but I think it was Methodist. Been so long. long ago. Why the hell is the GDP decreasing? Primarily because we're struggling with bureaucracy and we have high taxes right now. Scientific assistance to expedition have located some nests of exotic birds. Wonderful. We gain progress on antibiotics. Yeah, I mean, in America, there's so many different churches. Mage is kind of like a big thing. You usually go to the one you were raised by, but people switch quite often, actually. Opportunistic members of the bureaucratic interests have defeated the anarchist cause. Wonderful. Defected. And that's not defeated. That's defected. The fuck? Traitors! Try and coax... No, oh, God, we can't take that bureaucracy hit. So be it. Oh, God. Yeah, in Turkey, for Islam, there's really just like the big major sects, right? All churches are kind of along a similar line. They just say Christian? Ah, fair. At least where I've been raised, which is kind of like the northwest of the US and then the Midwest, people are very particular, in my experience, about where they say they go. Like, it's never just, I'm a Christian. Like, if they're talking to, like, someone who's not religious, they'll just loudly say they're a Christian. But usually for people they view as kind of also being of their religion-ish, they'll just proudly make sure to tell you what sect they are. Typically. They'll give you the whole name of the church they go to as well. Sometimes they're really long. I mean, because religious communities are really big here in the US. Like, a lot of people, like, it is their, like, main kind of organization or community that they operate in, right? Thank you for the 5 months, D-Man. Much appreciated. Hope all is well. Appreciate the sub, brother. Sunni Islam is like the main, but we have a lot of different sects. Yep. Obviously, like, the Shias, the main ones. Is it just Iran of, like, the major Muslim countries who's Shia? Major, are there other ones I forget? Most are Sunni, right? I know, like, the Sufis are considered borderline, like, cultist, but they're kind of, I guess, I thought they were more accepted in the modern world. Iran's the biggest. In Finland, people usually just say they are Christian, but Orthodox people usually explain that they're Orthodox. Gotcha. Makes sense. Scythe, we're trying! It's not easy. They're not outright revolting, so we can't deal with them. Alright, we beat the revolutionary did we? Yeah, we beat the revolutionary state. Good, in Asia. The expedition has made an interesting find in the forests of Borneo. A team of scientists, local guides and helpers, and an armed escort found a lone orangutan while hiking through Borneo's forests. There are several options on how to deal with the find. Orangutans are usually solitary, and they have become significantly rarer and shyer with the advent of Europeans. The etymologist, oh my god, having a stroke here. The entomologist, we're gonna go with that, on the other hand, really like the specimen and want to continue looking for beetles. He'd look really good in our zoo. We're gonna capture the orangutan and take him home. Torres mistook an enemy of the professional interests after accusing them of false charges. Moderates of the professional interests, oh fuck, have defected to the trade unionist cause. He's young. He's young. He would have been overwhelmed with hatred towards liberals after the death of his father, but he fucked up. The briefest flash of anger can make an enemy of a friendly face, can make even the staunchest allies split each other over misunderstanding, and once it is cast, there's no going back. Oh boy. Oh. I'm going to base this off of the current leader of the Conservatives, based on his traits. Tactful, experienced diplomat, experienced political operator. We're going to make Donato Torres stand down. It's the right call. He's wise enough to probably, like, make it clear to the king. This is what needs to be done. So. As a person who knows several Catholic, Orthodox, and Lutheran Christians, I can say religion is very complicated. It is. Almost all of them are so sub-split, right? Even if they seem like a unified group, they're really not. Your religion is very nuanced, and people believe very strongly in it. So you get lots of variations. Given it's literally a matter of life and death. All right, let me find some more music real quick. Let's run this one. Bit of classical for a while here. Been a while. Turn this up too. Yeah, it's good stuff. So let me 6 differences that seem more political to me compared to modern day American churches. American churches that are Christian, like in each other's company, they'll argue to death with each other about anything, right? But outside of that context, when dealing with like the larger political scope, they're so unified. Like the political in America, Christian churches are so organized economically primarily, right? Churches are not taxed and they can involve themselves in political affairs, right? Churches can give money to political campaigns and not pay any taxes on that money, which is crazy. So American Christian groups from all the different sects and all the different groups, even like Catholic and Protestant will work together. They're very unified for the most part, and they cooperate heavily for economic and political change. They're very well organized. And we have the revolt. Okay, this is when I'm going to do a save edit, because given they just took all our troops when they have like, again, like a 10th of the population, this is bullshit. I'm just going to roleplay out that we had a civil war and they were put down. I wish this could play out properly, but the way revolutions work in Vicky 3 is just bullshit. I'm also going to go ahead and do the save edit to give us the Sinai so we can get the Suez Canal properly. So I think while I do that, I'm going to grab something to drink. So I will be back in probably 5 to 10 minutes, unless, you know, the save edit causes my computer to crash or the save to break. So I will see you in just a few. Alrighty, I'm back. You're gonna have to watch the ugly debug screen for a few minutes because they actually have to start the war before I can force them to end. So we have to wait for this lovely little diplomatic play to end here. The British might join. I'd love to fight this, but since they took all our troops, this is bullshit and we can't. I fixed the Sinai, by the way, so let's see if the Suez actually gets people in it now. Ah, it's 11 employees! We've got 11 people working in the Suez. Wow, absolute win. That's an absolute fucking win in my eyes. We got another 4. Wow. Yeah, the British are gonna join. I'm still just gonna end this though. That does make this complicated though. Oh, we have an orangutan in our zoo now from Borneo. Lovely. No, this is as small as I could get for Sinai. I did return a little portion of Egypt, Lower Egypt, to the Egyptians though, to make a little bit nicer borders here. Exchange of territory. We're gonna say in the roleplay we basically only have the canal region and the area around it in reality. So technically all this is owned by Egypt, but since the game doesn't let you do nuance like that, we'll have to run it like this for now. Smaller size? I wouldn't be able to edit that manually, basically, unfortunately. God damn fucking Brits. Yeah. Oh, the Japanese would join us. I kind of want to fight this war, though. It'd be so interesting politically. Wait a second. Would it be this simple? Bruh. Bruh. Okay, hold on. We can do this war. Folks, it's just about to get very spicy. Alright, we're gonna have the southern tip of Italy and Albania revolt. Is what we're gonna do. Toledo, so the majority of our army, the British will be joining on the side of the revolutionaries. And we are gonna call the Japanese in. Oh boy. Okay, this just got very, very extreme very quickly. No, because it's not rigged now, no. This is actually how I can deal with future revolts like this. I literally can just save at annexing their territory. I just never thought to do that because it was so fucking stupidly obvious. Wow, okay. British Peru will ironically join. We'll offer them an obligation. And let's see if we can try and take something out of this war from the British as well, if we win. Wow, okay. Hold on, I gotta take a moment here and mentally recalibrate with this giant war we're about to fucking fight. Oh boy. What, let's start mobilizing. Should have a larger navy. The fuck's our navy at? Oh no, it's not fully rebuilt, is it? Oh no. How long until we get pre-dreadnought? 6 months. We have to hold out until we get a modern navy. Oh god. Good. The fuck is the goddamn... I know there's a way to turn it off. I've done this before. look at the command real quick. I can turn it off in game without having to exit. I know I can. I could have sworn I did this the other day. God damn it. Aha! I already tried this. Apparently not. Okay. Also, let's get a little bit more violent music here. We're about to have a very dramatic. We're gonna just go with the dramatic classical, I suppose. I have a soundtrack I want to play. Maybe not. Ah, fuck it. We'll go with dramatic classical. It fits. Alrighty. So, let me explain the situation now that we're committed to this. The revolution, which has been really brewing for the last 10 years, which resulted in the death of King Simon Torres, and what resulted almost in the death of Donato Torres, has now officially been lit. In southern Italy, with the stockpiles of arms that had been stolen over the last several years from our garrisons, forces of the Revolutionary Republic, with 30,000 men strong, mostly untrained, but they're going to get our bonuses, so they will be very trained, prepare to take on the armies of Sardinia. And in a shocking and brazen support of murderous radicals, the governments of the British Republic have joined to support on their behalf, with President Gregory Palazar, a extremist revolutionary, supporting the proletariat revolution in Sardinia, the once allies of our own nation. In an act of desperation, we had the support of Scandinavia to our defensive alliance and Peru. We also offered an obligation to our old friends in Japan for their joining in the war, which they have agreed to do, resulting in what appears in many ways to be an advantage on our side, but in reality with the British Navy is still very much one-sided on behalf of the British. British Peru's joined on our side. We have 40 left. Let's try and demand something from the British if we win. Switch sides. Can we demand anything? It's a revolution. We might not be able to. Okay, peace deal wise, if we beat the British in this war, I'm gonna take some of their colonies, but I'll have to save edit it. So we'll have to do this. They would have prime Dingleberry. Yeah, I figured one of them might, but it's still just like, you know, a little terrifying to see it actually happen. Let's deploy the forces of Garcia to southern Italy. The rest we will keep in their HQs. God, our navy needs to be bigger and stronger right now. Are we missing supplies? All these trade routes right before the war too. They're gonna just destroy our convoy lines though. A lot of explosives from the French. Sure, we could use it, why not? Given how rough this war is going to be, I'm going to do a little metagaming. Don't do this at home, kids. I'm only doing this because we're facing an overwhelmingly strong Britain. Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes away from what I'm about to do. God, look at our economy too. I know, it's disgusting. Dingleberry, we are rooting for House Torres, the ruling dynasty. and the young king whose father was killed by these radical terrorists that have besieged our nation with their extremism. You shut the fuck up, mage. How dare you? You're Turkish. Your fellow country members would disown you for such blasphemy. I'm gonna decrease our construction. We can't maintain this in the war. That should help a little bit. Should. The fuck? There we go. Okay. Fucking biotical. You're also a traitor. Traitors everywhere! Our militaries are deployed. God, we really do have so few. I'm gonna remove Antisi. We're gonna consolidate all of our navy underneath one admiral. Actually, can we not? We might not be able to, actually. God damn it. I know where our navy is. It's all of that goddamn admiral. The one who's doing the fucking Pacific mission. Oh. Can I cancel it? I can't cancel it. Fucking hell, dude. He's got all of our... Where's Coletta from? Yeah, he's from the Italy HQ. That's where all our fleet is. I can't fucking fire him either. God damn it. Okay. I'm gonna do another quick save edit. I'm gonna kill him. I hate to do this, but we're getting fucked by a mechanic and we need that navy. And the only way I know to get rid of this is to kill him outright, so... Yeah. A little brutal, but we need that navy. Bear with me. Will I have his ship suddenly hit a goddamn whale and sink in Indonesia? Against the British Navy, every single vessel counts. We do have submarines. If we get pre-dreadnoughts, we might be able to contend them if we're really lucky here. Listen, Gray. None of that. You're right. Compensating for the lack of proper options from the game creators, you're forced to do save edits if you want things to make sense. Or work. Really is work, broadly. It's a beautiful game, but fucking hell. Vic 3 is my toxic ex who I get back together with every Saturday and Sunday. Is it probably bad for my mental health? Maybe. Is it thick and wonderful enough I'm gonna go back anyway? You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Absolutely. So that's how it is. Alright, I think it's just kill and then his name, right? Yeah. Kill character. Alright. Have him shot in the back of the head. Where are you, you little shithead? Corradino. Oletta. He's a really good admiral, too. That's the shitty part. I'm gonna wait a minute just to see if I do get that event to be able to move them back. Because God, he is such a good admiral. Heads to the other regions. Yeah, he's not coming back. All right, buddy. He's still alive? Who the fuck did I kill? Was there another Corradino Coletta? shit. He will not die. Fucking hell. I can't kill him. What the fuck? Oh my god. I can't kill him. All right, well, that's rough. Reactionaries have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the business interests. That is simply how things are at the moment, economically. Well, fuck. We have half our navy off trolloping through fucking Indonesia. Oh, god damn it, man. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do here. He doesn't have actually as much of the navy as I thought he did. We're gonna loop Palmyra to the revolution. It kind of is what it is here. Here we go. Immediately try and push the revolutionary state if we can. Try and knock them out of the war and deal with Britain alone. Conservatives demand that Brigadier General Carcano de Escamard, touting his loyalty and effective service record, be given a promotion. He's not a very good general. Absent-minded philanthropist explorer. But sure. If it makes you happy, we will do it. Did we mobilize? I don't think we did. I did not mobilize them on purpose. No, we didn't. Okay. That's fine. We gotta put fast, and we gotta push hard. Scandinavia, leading the offensive. Taking on Alessandro Pepe. General Hans Wadensten. He's a very good general. Tough fencer, stalwart defender, grifter, experienced defensive planner, ambitious. He's a very religious man, too. What a fucking beast. Alliance with the Scandinavians already paying off here. Let's wait for the Navy. Brazil offering a defensive pact. Too late to call them into the war, though. A clear victory here in the Battle of Matera. You know, I need as well. Good. Decrease colonial affairs. With the excess bureaucracy, I want us to... Oh, we can't quite go up on home affairs. God, our economy is just collapsing. Military goods. Where are the military ports? I know we have them. There we are. No, we just need more of them. Do we have any routes exporting warships? I'm gonna need to remove them. We do. A lot more ammunition as well, another 600 or so. That'll help a little bit. What's up? What's up, femboy? Literally. Oh, Linus! Been forever. What's up, man? How you been? Alright, we are pushing in southern Italy here. Slowly but surely. Scandinavia's forces and ours are combined and pushing quickly. The British nowhere to be seen. Oh, they took, we also pushed in the Congo. Wow. Let's send a contingent to take their other colonial holding. Are they fighting more than one war or something? Is that what's going on right now? They must be in more than one war. Oh my god, they're in fucking 3 wars! They're in the French Civil War, they're in our Civil War, and they're invading Paulus in India. Oh, this is a huge opportunity. Let's start fucking taking their colonial holdings. Fuck it, we go on the offensive. Smaducci, you're landing in West Africa. Let's go. Oh, this is an opportunity. This is huge. They are so overstretched right now. Start hitting their colonies. On the Sunda Islands, the crew of the blank is confronted with a prehistoric-looking reptile. The Komodo dragon. Really cool animals. We're gonna take one home with us. They have almost no support from the British right now, I think. Very little. No, they do. There is a British contingent there. You know, Komodo dragons can procreate without the female Komodo dragons can procreate without males. Interesting. That's why they were, if I remember correctly, able to get to so many islands and do very well in Indonesia, was due to that. I think I remember that right. I used to be really obsessed with them when I was a kid. Komodo dragons and wolves. I had posters of them all over my walls. Who doesn't like wolves, man? Japan? The Japanese have sent forces too? Underneath General Shigeru Heihachi, who is advancing in the tip of Italy. You know, I gotta say, our recent alliances and our old friendships are really paying off when it matters, huh? This is the time we need allies, and surprisingly, I didn't expect it. Allies we do have. Big win there. Our forces have arrived in Africa as well. We're gonna get destroyed here. We do have a better army than them, actually. Surprisingly. I get these guys on defend when I can. We are gonna push in the north. Ooh, there we go. Landing in West Africa. The forces of General Cardino Palmieri are landing in Guinea. Our army is way better than theirs. I did not expect that. Wow, look at that. No general! You overstretched Britain! You radical liberal fucks! Don't look at our economy. It's not important. That is gonna definitely split at some point here. 3 dreadnoughts? Oh, we are cooking now. We definitely don't have enough ammunition for this, but let's do it. We're already so overstretched, we might as well go further. Military statistics. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna hold our construction. That'll help a little bit here. Ish. The Sardinian Navy is being sunk off the coastline of Britain in the Channel. Britain does have modern navy as well now, by the way, so we are only now equal to them. I do want to see if we can contend the British. We only have 20, though. Fuck you, Coletta. I do want to see what happens if we engage, though. Actually, hold on. That'd be a bad idea, because we haven't fully upgraded our navy, have we? No, we have not. Let's not do that. Whew. Don't look at the economy. I already told you. It's not important. We're beating the fucking British. That's all that matters. I'm going to take war reparations from them in the peace deal, too, which I'll have to just manually take it from their treasury and give it to ours. This peace deal will all be manual. If we get fucked, we're going to get fucked hard, too. I'll do that in the peace deal as well. Goddamn frogs. Claiming more of our land. Don't look at it. I'm telling you, don't look at it. You're looking at it. Trust the plan. It's Simon's plan. Trust it. Taking southern Italy. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Hold on. Are we contending it? 20 ships versus 120 British ships. Come on, baby. Oh, my God. We're contending it. EU4 called. They want their navy back. Oh, my God. We're going to win this. Holy Christ. Oh, it broke the game we were doing so well. God damn it. Oh my God. God damn it. Of all times they crash. Fuck you. They couldn't handle our power. Paradox shut down the fucking campaign. They couldn't handle our naval power. They were scared of it. They're scared all the comp wereboos might actually learn navy. And they should be scared. Fucking hell, man. That's crazy. We can actually contend the British fleet. Ooh, boy. I didn't expect to say that in Victoria 3, but here we are. That opens up a lot of doors I did not expect. I figured, crack. Oh, God damn it. I'm too hyped for this shit. Unbelievable. Oh, bionicle our navy is cutting edge. It is not outdated. We have pre-dreadnoughts right now. It is probably the most advanced navy in the world, or close to it. I think we're gonna still get the battle, though. Let's see. I hope so. Another one. Let's see what the British have actually right now. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna turn down the speed too, so we don't hopefully get that crash again. No, they have ironclads. It's just we are more advanced. We do have pre-dreadnoughts. God damn it, we need more explosives. That is the problem. Okay. Come on, get that naval fight again. They're trying to, they were trying to navally invade us is what they're doing. Yeah, he's still here. We still have him patrolling the coast. Yes, we do. One day, we're about to get the battle, I think. Because they're trying to navally invade. Or not? Fuck. Come on, Britain, you know you want to try. Come on. Do it. Do it. That's still canon happen. That battle is canon. I don't give a shit. Even if this battle doesn't happen again, I'm making that canon in the storyline. We fought that fucking navy. We're really pushing quickly in Western Africa too, almost completely unopposed. I think the Japanese sent troops there as well. Is it the Japanese or the Scandinavians? I'm not too sure. You do a naval landing in South Africa as well. We'll do that after we take Western Africa. So you turn off debug mode again, don't I? Oh man. This came at such an opportune moment. It's true. 5-to-1 odds, modern navies. I got this. Forward, men. He's convoy raiding. I want to make this battle happen. Even if this goes badly for us, I want to see this happen. I don't care the cost. We've won. Revolutionary Sardinia has been put down. The rebels have been routed in the south of Italy. Their command structure gone. They have fled to radical shores far away from Sardinia. Yet we are still locked in conflict with the British Republic. No, we're not. We won the fucking war. Fuck yeah. After the fall of their African colonies and the lifeline of resources to the British Empire spread thin in the Civil War in France and their invasion in India, they were forced to treaties with our government after the sinking of half of their navy in the Western Mediterranean, showing our naval prowess once more. We have defeated the British. Now we have to decide what we want to take from them colonially, because, you know, I want to play out this peace treaty properly. There's no way we just make peace with them for nothing. I mean, I was ready to fucking go for London, so that's crazy. Holy fucking Christ, dude. We destroyed the British. What do we think, folks, for colonies taking from the British? We need something fair, but like reasonable, right? We fucked up the British Empire pretty hard there. We would have been demanding quite a lot in the peace deal, but it shouldn't just be extreme, right? So what are we thinking? Western Africa, all of Africa. I think that's a bit much. I think we're gonna leave them one of these places. I think land in Africa makes sense, but we need to leave them like one of these sections. I'd say either we leave them West Africa, we leave them the Center Holdings, or we leave them South Africa. We're gonna take two of the three groups. I know how I'll do this. I'm gonna do a poll. The two highest in the poll will we will take. You guys are all negotiators at the peace conference with the British. We'll make this interesting. We'll do 3 minutes on this poll. So the top two, we will take, and the one that gets the least votes, we will leave them. We'll do it like that. Wow, what a war though. Did that fix our economy? Yeah, because we're not working anymore on our construction. I'm also going to have them basically give us the equivalent of war reparations. So I'm going to give us 15 million as well and take it from the British. I think I can do minus. Let me go try and do a... Fuck, I don't have debug mode on anymore. I'm going to have to restart. 1 second. I can do the territory transfer when I do that as well. only the Americas. I only want us to take African land. I think this treaty. I think that's most reasonable. It's where we fought. It's where we occupied. And it's not like this treaty was completely, you know, one-sided. It wasn't a total war victory, I would say. Let me see. Jesus Christ, it is very close, isn't it? Holy fuck, that is extremely close. God damn it, don't make me have to break the tie. There we go, beautiful. I can't believe we beat the British in less than a year, though. That's just insane. I know they were overextended, but even then, if you look at the stats, our army and our navy were better. And not just because I gave those buffs with the decisions for our military. They were objectively quite stronger. I wonder if it's because they didn't keep up their naval professionalism. And we did. Because that can really give you a big debuff if you don't do that. Northern Ireland. I don't really want to have Sassari and our leaders like bombed again. We already had to deal with radical socialists. We don't need to deal with the IRA. The Torres line will be snuffed out if we have to deal with the IRA. Go right back in on the British. They have some pretty big alliances there, Biotical. Or aces, rather. I mean, we could, I think. Let's see if we have a peace treaty. We'd be pretty confident after this victory, but I kind of want to wait for another major war until Donato comes of age. Every time I say his name, I think of Pizza Man. Fuck. Also, is the Suez actually populated now? Yeah, we're up to 126 people. Fucking dub. All right, South Africa, we're gonna leave them then. Fat fucking dub. What should we call this treaty? Where did that battle take place? We're going with the Treaty of Cagliari. The final naval battle took place off the coast of Cagliari. And we'll say that the diplomats negotiated on the flagship of the Sardinian Navy off the coastline of Cagliari after the battle, where the British realized they could not contend 3 wars at once. And after the loss of their navy and our naval power in the region, they chose us to make peace with first in order to win their other 2 wars. Alrighty, Jesus fucking Christ. We're also gonna give us a sum of 15 million, and then we're gonna take 15 million from the British. What is the command for this? I know you can do negative as well. Is it just money? Yeah, it is money. Money, 15. My zero's right here. There we go, and then we're gonna go remove it from the British's treasury. That's not the right Britain. Yeah. I'll have to make that a thing at Stellaris when we get to Stellaris videos, Gray. I'll have to have a portion of one of the videos be like a scene where they're at like the museum and like the old flagship. That'd be fucking cool. All right, get fucked, buddy. Minus 15 million. There you go. They're 11 million in debt now. They can afford it, probably. If not, who gives a shit? Wow. Take a moment to look at the map of Africa now. I was telling you we'd have to go to war to take more colonial land and contend in Africa, and by Jove, we have fucking done it. All we need to do is fuck up Germany and we'll have nice, beautiful borders. We really look like colonial France in real life, don't we? Very similar in many ways. Oh, So to unite Italy, we have to fight Germany. We may have beat up the British, but Germany has 1,100 battalions without mobilizing. So, no, Napoleon, he died at the Battle of the Pyramid, spoilers, and then his son took power and ruled for a while, but lost the Civil War to the Torreses, who took back power in the Civil War backed by the Japanese. I wonder if we can get another big ally after this war. Defensive pact with Somalia, we'll take that. Brazil will change to our customs union. Oh, yes. We would be so respected and feared probably after this war. We took on the greatest naval power in the world and one of the largest of the great powers in Europe. I mean, there's a lot of countries that would be looking at us with very different eyes after this, I would say. Alliance with Britain too, let's do it. Oh man. Trade agreement with Mexico. Wow. That's some big stuff right there. Sardinia, Corsica's growing colonial empire in Africa, along with new means to prevent malaria, has made us a serious contender for colonial control of the continent. I mean, our colony has just literally doubled in size in Africa. Hello, construction question. How does the scale affect turnover work, which gives 20% production efficiency when I build 20% buildings? 20 buildings. Is it worth building exactly 20 buildings to maximize effect, or is it better to stupidly spam 100 billions in one place? 20% effect on 20% buildings. Yeah, there's a name for that. I'm trying to remember. It is worth building everything in one place. So, for example, we've got 8 food industries in Obliris. If you go look at that, you get a bonus to your throughput, which is your economy of scale. Basically, it maximizes the effectiveness and the production. Many buildings will become more efficient the larger they get. Some buildings gain the following effects by every building level beyond the first. So, basically, it is worth spamming this. Now, you will have a max. It increases depending on if you're using mods and depending on your tech, right? So this tells us the national cap for level of scale is 30. So if we build 30 of these food industries in the Bliris, we would max out with a 30% bonus to our throughput. But you do get more of tech. I'm trying to remember which one gives you throughput bonuses. There's a few. I think we already hit one. There's another one, I think. Or maybe that's in the mod that we made. Well, I can't remember. There's a couple techs that do give you throughput max bonuses, essentially. I don't know if we already took them. I thought there was another one in front of us. Yeah, here we go. Shift work. Economy of scale building cap level. So if you get shift work, it'll go up by another 20, and then you could build, for example, 50 of those food industries on the Bliris and have a 50% to your throughput, basically making them produce more goods, allowing them to be more effective in terms of good inputs and in terms of your workers, right? So you use the same amount of workers, the same amount of input goods, but you produce more of the good, making that more efficient and more profitable, right? So yes, it is worth spamming them on one place. Where that gets a little bit complicated and there's downsides is that if you put too many buildings in one place, the price of your input goods in that area will go up a little bit, which will be a much bigger deal after the 1.5 update, where I think they're planning to add like basically local prices, right? So throughput bonuses and building like that will change a lot after 1.5, so kind of keep that in mind, but yes. So yeah, if you build up to like 100 in one place, but your throughput cap is 50, for example, all the 50 buildings after the 50 will not increase your throughput, but they will all benefit from that bonus. So it'd be 100 buildings benefiting from a 50% increase. So it's still kind of useful, right? But yeah, more or less it is. Anyway, back to the game. Hope that answered your question. Wow, we are entering the 19th century, a fucking force to be reckoned with here. Economy aside, which we really need to work on. Our expedition is complete too. We're actually going to get that jet admiral. I apologize back. He didn't die. We tried to kill him twice and he's still alive. Did a follow set. You are very welcome. He survived 2 assassination attempts. Also, we have the bureaucracy. Let's go ahead and start building the skyscraper. Is it going to make us build it in Sassari? That'd be annoying. Gray, unfortunately, this game does not let you name admirals or generals or anything. For a victory in the revolution, the provisional government under Torres is now able to formalize its desired rule over Sardinia and Corsica. The smoke of revolutionary war was mostly cleared from the air, and with it, the sense of profound uncertainty over to which point the provisional government desires to lead the nation. As the cabinet debates with one another, multiple paths are open for Sardinia to formalize the revolutionary structure. What? No, we're not becoming a presidential republic. The fuck? We're a goddamn monarchy. Get the fuck out with that shit. Yeah, it's not the right event there. Disgusting. Disgusting. What stuff can you name? What do you mean, Linus? That redemption is for me, like to exploit game mechanics or things like that. Anything in particular? Mexico's gonna give us a trade deal. Build our colony into Nigeria and continue to expand up there. When Donato comes of age, we're gonna start a war as well, by the way. We're waiting for him to come of age. He does look very old, doesn't he? He's been under a lot of stress. His father was murdered by a fucking terrorist bombing. He was almost killed by a terrorist bombing when he was, I think, like, what, 11? This child has come up of age with a lot of stress. You can see his hairline receding at the young age of 12. Poor kid. He's had a hard life. Nope, Maghreb is impassable, meaning the only way I could take would be to save at it, which I might for nice borders, but we'll see. We really got to figure out the economy too. How the fuck do we have subsidies? Railway subsidies. No, we need to get rid of that. We don't need those. I hope. Have to change everything we fucked over. Yeah, I fucked over our economy completely here. This is going to be a pain in the ass to stabilize. And then I think, given we actually made power plants, we can actually power the city center in Sardinia with electricity now. Yes, we can. Oh, same with Campania. Let's modernize it. Street lamps lit by electricity. The future of Sardinia is here. Beautiful. We have a few power plants now. How many do we have? Just a couple. We had 13 already, actually. Where the fuck are they in Mali? What? I know I built them in Sardinia. Yeah. The British built power plants in Mali? The fuck are they doing over there? This is Mali, right? Or is it down here? Yeah, there it is. That's an interesting decision. It's definitely a choice. Well, we might as well use all that power, 650 of it. See if we can put it into something else. Maybe better logging. Better logging camps. Why not? Where do we do a bunch of logging? Corsica. It's really not that much, actually, is it? Holy fuck. Modernize some of these sawmills. Oof. Oldest electricity magically getting to Sardinia from Mali. Don't question it, okay? It's a mechanic. It's a mechanic. It's a completely reasonable mechanic in this game, and we're going to use it. No question it. That helped our economy quite a lot, didn't it? Ivan Beald's AI mod on, too. Maybe that's the problem. We're shipping bottles of electricity across the Western African coast up to Sardinia. It's a completely reasonable thing. It's like that ship back in the day that we found. You know, remember the ship that crashed in the Greek Sea, where there was, I think it was, that was the clock. They discovered those like ancient batteries back in the day, like the really old school ones, where they put them in jars and stuff. That's what we're doing. We're jarring the electricity from Mali and shipping it to our power plants in Corsica. Yeah. Absolutely. Reasonable behavior. Historically accurate, don't question it. Remember the old Paradox motto, it's not a bug, it's a feature. The rallying cry of corporate paradox sounds loudly in our ears. Alrighty, let's try and start producing things again. Oh, we got an event too. It's the Malian power plants. The recent expansion of the power plants in eastern Mali has inspired faith in a future where all Sardinia could be electrified. Beautiful. Let's go for shift work. Super Teslas, pretty much. Yeah. The French are a republic. Oh my god, you are a radicals! Chancellor Antoine de Bourbon-Condé. A liberal. A part of a radical liberal government that has seized power in France. They have fallen, ladies and gentlemen. Paris has fallen, officially. We are now of 4 remaining great powers in Europe not falling to radicalism. Oh boy. The times we live in. Wow. You know what I'm half tempted to fucking do right now? I'm thinking about it. We have good relations with them. We don't. Before they enter the German alliance, I think we may try and take a war here. Even though Donato has not come of age, this is a very poignant and very important political moment for Europe. I want to see if we can knock them off their colonial position here in one fell swoop. Swoop. Can't speak today. Jesus Christ. The fuck is the phrase? Sweep. Is this swoop? I think it is. Anyway, regardless, thank you. I'm having yet another stroke today, so it's fine. No question it. We have a much bigger population than I thought, actually. We're up to 67 million people. What do we need economically as well? Let's take a look at that. We are very much in need of silk. In large quantities of it, which we can't get from anywhere else. We need 800. Let's work on that to start off with. We can't make silk? Now I know why the British are invading India. I get it now. I do understand it. God damn it. They're with both Germany and Britain. God damn it. I'd love to fight them, but no. Yeah, true. Nylon might be worth it. And we're in a deficit again. All the production. Alright, we can't make silk. We can't deal with coal, I don't think, either. We can? We can build a bit more in Africa. Build all that up to max. Same with iron. A lot of warships. A lot of glass. A lot of steel. We need a lot of everything. We have a lot of sulfur, don't we? We can make a lot more glass right now. We have a fuck ton of sulfur. Let's work on the glass industry. How much do we need? 2,500. 50. Holy fuck. We need dyes, which we don't have, which is the problem to begin with, so we can't even do that if we wanted to. Less. We just don't produce ceramics. That's how we deal with this. We can make glass. Okay. We'll do another 20 then. Or 25, I think is what we need. We're about to get shift work, so I'm going to put these up to max. Imagine Stellaris with the economy of Vic 3. That'd be beautiful. You'd have to play on speed 1 constantly and pause all the time, but it would be very fun. I'd play the hell out of that. Imagine, like, trying to simulate the whole population of, like, trillions of people in a galaxy, though, with the Vic 3 model. You know, if we got access to, like, an IBM supercomputer, we could do it. Give it another 5 years when processing power is cheaper and gone up, maybe. Listen, I just can't respect a paradox strategy game that doesn't simulate the population of a galaxy with individuals, including their economic status, religious status, political beliefs, and hobbies. If I don't get that, I just can't respect the game, honestly. Also, with every single one of them having AI personalities powered by ChatGPT. That's what I need to give a good rating to a Paradox game nowadays. It's what it is. Our economy is in really good shape now, after all those innovations. We're not growing very quickly, and we are the 3rd economic power now, by the way. We have surpassed the British Empire, or British Republic, I should say. But we are very, very far behind the Germans and the Chagatai, of course. Formalizing friendship with Scandinavia? I mean, we're already very good friends with the Walrus. They fought in our war, our Revolutionary War, so we would have a very high opinion of them. Why are there radical liberals in your government? What the fuck? You're a jingoist! What are you doing? Oh, she's a radical liberal. I swear to fucking God, dude. Every ally we get. The Scandinavian king has died, and his daughter is a radical liberal. Jingoist radical liberal. There's only 50,000 of them in our country as well. What are the chances of that? We're about to lose that ally. She'll unally us here pretty soon. There's liberals in Lithuania. This is just ridiculous. We could get a defensive pact with the Americans. Let's do it. They're very conservative, one of the few remaining powers in the world. We've been good friends with them for quite some time. That would be perfect if they accept this. Defensive pact with the Americans. Finally. It's been a long time coming. A great composer stopped in our country on his tour and decided to stay for a while. Gustav Mahler was an Austrian composer in the transition from late Romantic to modern. He was not only one of the most important composers of the late Romantic period, but also one of the most famous conductors of his time, and as opera director, one of the most competent reformers of music theater. His work at the Vienna court opera is considered epochal? An epoch of music. Stefan Zweig, for example, wrote in his memoirs about Mahler's fame in Vienna. To have seen Gustav Mahler on the street was an event that one proudly reported to one's comrades the next morning, like a personal triumph. Compared to the standards of the time, Mahler's music and scenic interpretations were characterized by their high fidelity to the original. His role model had a direct influence on a younger generation of conductors. His rank as a composer, on the other hand, was disputed until well after his death, although a community of enthusiastic followers quickly formed. His creations initially met with a lack of interest, incomprehension, or rejection from the music-interested public. It was not until the 1960s that his work was finally able to establish itself as part of the so-called Mahler Renaissance. Oh, cool. He's visiting our opera hall in Sassari. Very nice. Yeah, we have a lot of really good relations with the Americans. We have alliances now with the Americans, the British, I think, and the Grand Colombians too, right? No, we don't. Just the Americans and the Brazilians. Mexico would be another good ally, but they're rivaled with the Americans, so we kind of have to choose here. Foreign composer has inspired the members of the state orchestra. Nice. Their GDP collapsed after the Civil War. They had an incredibly brutal Civil War. It's coming back up. It's just having a stroke right now. The AI can't decide what PMs it wants to be on. It'll stabilize in a little while. They basically had like Black Monday just happen in the Americas after their Civil War. So look at that economic drop. That's our new ally, by the way. We gotta ally the Germans at this point. They'll just collapse internally within a month. Just instantaneously, their government will just be destroyed like the Thanos snap. Return to dust immediately. I'm gonna change a bunch of these now. Yeah, changed so much stuff. The performance in one of our concert halls could go down as the biggest failure in our music history. Well, apparently Mahler's not doing a very good job, is he? Go after France? Yeah, we can now if we want to. I want the territory that's rising up, though. How long until they win this war? It might not, actually. How big is their navy? No. Germany might join this war, though. That's the danger. Out of curiosity, it's been a while. Fuck. The Chagatai might join? Put a pin in this. I don't normally do this. I want to check something, just out of curiosity. I won't do it now. We'll do it when he comes of age, but I want to see if we could use an obligation to get the Chagatai to join us. And we can have our World War I here. I'll come back to the save in a moment after I do this cursed shit, but I want to see what happens. Nope. There's no sway they would accept. I played a bunch of Starfield. It's wonderful. The thing is, I didn't set my expectations very high for Starfield, so I really enjoyed what happened. Could it have been better? Absolutely. But I really enjoyed it because I love sci-fi games. I haven't played Baldur's Gate yet. I don't want to sacrifice the amount of time I will have to immediately sacrifice to playing that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed Starfield. I've had such a fun time with it. No, the Chagatai won't join us. Okay, I was just curious. We'll have the save. That would have been pretty interesting. We gotta be stronger if we want World War I. Have a good night, Biotical. I will see you around. I looked at absolutely nothing of Starfield until it came out. Very fun. Yeah, same here. I'd watched like one gameplay trailer and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And then it dropped and I tried it out and I really liked it. A lot of issues. The graphics could have been a lot better, but like the gameplay itself, for just being able to like, you know, fuck around, go wherever you want to explore and, you know, do sci-fi shit, very fun. We can make synthetic dye plants now. I'm a fucking idiot. We should have been building that all along. How many... We also have a railway crisis, don't we? Because we're not subsidizing the railways. Oh, Jesus fuck. Gonna have to subsidize them. Not all of them, though. We'll subsidize the unprofitable ones. The fuck are the British doing? Is that us? That might have been us, actually. Fuck is North Angola? Angola is down here. The fuck were the British doing? AI, what are you building? They built 30 railways in Angola. And I can't remove them. Bruh. Bruh. What? What the fuck is that scam artist shit in Angola? Jesus. Alright. They need a lot of trains, apparently. That's just, it's because of, you know what we're gonna roleplay that is? Because of the public subsidization of all train lines up until recently. there was a basically boom of railway expansion in northern Angola after its annexation, where given the subsidization, capitalists basically just built like continuously more and more railways that led to nowhere and cashed the checks from the government. A little bit of a fraud scheme ongoing there in Angola. That's fucking hilarious. Pretty much what happened to China and super trains. Well, yeah, that's just to bump up their GDP numbers, among other things. Ah, beautiful. Look at all those marginalized radicals. I don't like marginalized groups unless they're radical socialists. Then I like them nice and marginalized. Angry radical liberals as well. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. Are we going for property and women? I would say probably. I want to wait until Donato comes of age for any reforms. He's a moderate and he's kind of modern, so I think he'd probably actually support the women's suffrage movement. Except our country doesn't. Wow. No, okay, so what happened is because all the radical leftists got marginalized and pushed out of government, there's basically no one in our like still legal parties actually like for it. The only parties legally allowed that support it are the liberals and the bureaucrats and the radical liberals, who aren't very strong. All the other groups that were supporting it are now not allowed to organize. So, we actually can't give women property rights now. Fuck. Shit. That's a shame. How long until he comes of age? A few years, actually. Ah, oh, Greek uprising. They claim Crete, but they're not a real country, so we don't have to give a shit. The project to map the moon photographically has made more progress. Got some tech for combustion engine, too. After many years of intensive observation and mapping, as well as some state-of-the-art photography, our astronomers have been able to create an accurate map of the moon. Lunar mapping became systematic in 1777, when Johann Schroeder began meticulous observation and measurement of lunar topography. In 1834, Johann Heinrich von Modler published the first large cartograph of the moon, composing 4 sheets in size. He subsequently published the Universal Selenography. All lunar measurements was based on direct observation until March of 1840, when J.W. Draper, using a 5-inch reflector telescope, produced a daguerreotype of the moon and thus introduced photography to astronomy. At first, the images were very low quality, but as with the telescope 200 years later, their quality rapidly improved. By 1890, lunar photography had become a recognized subdiscipline of astronomy. Nice, we were the first to do it too! Prestige, and more progress to the combustion engine. Hell yeah. No one ever said it wasn't made of cheese. Walrus, we've just been mapping where the brie and the Gouda is on the moon. Obviously. I mean, come on now. Come on now. The northern part is clearly brie. So did the radical movement destroy practically all the rights that are normally distributed with workers and unions? All support for those movements is gone because they're not allowed to legally be represented in government or anywhere. The wine produced in Al Rif has been lauded by his sommeliers as outstanding. More prestige. Don't mind if I do. The French are hitting their revolution in Madagascar. That's land we want, by the way. That's one of the main things we'll be looking for in a war of them if we do that. We'll wait until he comes of age. I want to start another war, but we need to wait. There we go. He's nice and dripped out now. At 13, he finally developed a fashion sense. With all of our excess bureaucracy, let's go ahead and increase home affairs. And we'll also increase law enforcement. More police and more secret police. We need even more coal. Ooh, cheap American coal. What else can we get from the Americans? A lot, apparently. My God. Yes, please. All those cheap American goods we will definitely not regret taking later. Secret police don't lie. Major hallucinating. We make really good money on our instruments, don't we? Holy shit. Alrighty. A lot of very valuable trade routes. Still running a deficit. Rimworld win? I'm not going to do Rimworld today. I'm already kind of getting a little bit tired. I will do it next weekend. I know my stream schedule has been very inconsistent lately, but I'm also frankly just not going to stream when I'm exhausted, so kind of is what it is. I think I'm going to try and be a little more like open with what I want to do when I'm streaming, so I'll probably just name times I'm going to stream and then what I might do, instead of kind of, I think, setting expectations for me doing these really long streams. I don't really want to keep doing like 8-hour streams on weekends, especially with a new job about to start. So my streaming will be a lot less than it used to be. Heads up. Like, I know I was doing a lot of streaming there for a while and I enjoyed it, but that was never really going to be sustainable long term. So substitute teaching, Mage. Substitute teaching high school kids. I also applied to go back to school and get my degree, or I'm about to apply rather, to the local school around here, which will be next fall. Be a ways out, but I want to go complete that. After some time of stay, a great composer decided to leave Sardinia to continue his tour. Mahler will be moving on. Nice. We're almost over 200. Come on. Our economy is really growing slow now. It's because I think mostly there's a lot of these like basic goods we just can't get with our current borders and we can't trade for it, so we're kind of getting screwed here a little bit. Okay, we all know how most substitute teachers are to be tortured, pretty much. Kids are shitheads. Trade agreement with America, do that. No tariffs on all those goods we're importing very cheaply from them. I applied as an English teacher. They offered me $2.25 per hour. That's really low, right? Even in Turkey? Is your mega campaign your most popular content on YouTube? No, my tutorials are. The tutorials like actually make me okay money and they get way more views. The mega campaign like isn't like unpopular, but it's definitely not my most popular stuff. It is, however, what I put like the most effort into by far, especially the latest ones. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I think I kind of shot myself in the leg because I tried to do tutorials for Paradox games and then also like Paradox YouTube videos because I thought that they were close enough that they'd like share a similar audience when that's not true. Like I looked at all of the analytics of it and basically people watch my tutorials, don't watch my roleplay. And even people who watch my roleplay videos like won't watch other kinds of roleplay videos. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Very strange. The ongoing Pabrina outbreak has spread to the silk plantations in Tuscany. The rapid spread of the disease across the Sardinian silkworm farms is presenting more and more danger to the silk industry. God damn it. That would explain our massive deficits of silk we've had for quite some time. You even watched me sleep. Love you too, Crack Jesus. Yeah, it's interesting. Like for example, like Stellaris players only want Stellaris, you know, and EU4 players only want EU4. So if you make like multiple types of like Paradox content like I do, people don't like that. It's very hard to get like consistent viewers because most people are not willing, which I think I get to a degree. I'm not quite that extreme, but even I'll be in like the mood for one thing typically. Like, you know, I'll be like playing a lot of one Paradox game typically. That's how I've kind of always been. But I'll still watch like content for like other types if it's interesting. But that's not what, at least my analytics suggest is the case, which is really funny. Mega campaigns are very niche, but that's isn't a whole lot of content to fill it. Yeah, true. They are very niche. That's for sure. I think to be fair, like ISPs and what's his name, Tommy K's have been big, but they're already such like kind of big content creators. You know, they could put out a video of themselves, like, you know, yelling at trees in the German outback, and they'd still probably get a lot of views. It's kind of how it goes. It's really weird how YouTube does that. I don't know. I've tried to understand the algorithm. There's been a couple points I thought I did. It's mostly audiences, but it's also just some of their weird algorithm stuff. Police have shut down a notorious male brothel. Hold on. The arrested proprietor has revealed that Fernando de Albergo is part of his clientele. The leader of the church interest, Jesus Christ. It's fine, move him along. Move him to another county. Move him to somewhere in Spain. Remember, to roleplay this properly, the Catholic Church will not be confronting these allegations. They'll be moving him to another country and another church in a small county somewhere. It's fine. We're gonna deal with this completely in a reasonable manner. He's gonna resign and then reappear in Spain in 5 months as a priest in a small church in Galicia. The laborers of the silk plantations in Tuscany have been affected significantly by the loss of their silkworm Fabrina. They have petitioned the government for financial assistance to replace lost wages. It's radicalism, but we gotta support them there. Their whole way of life is being destroyed. As radicalism as it is. I'm watching Victorian Stellaris because I don't own either game. That's fair. I watch your roleplay. It's more interesting in that than the games themselves. I mean, I'm like that just with playing them now. Dude, I tried to play a casual Paradox game by myself like a couple of weeks ago. I got so fucking bored so quickly because I just felt like I had no investment in the campaign. So I quit it and I felt fucking nothing. When I quit a Paradox roleplay campaign, I'm always just kind of sad. But when I quit like the casual one, it was like nothing. No emotion. Nothing. Just an empty void in my heart of uncaring. How old is he? We're really just waiting on Donato to come of age here. And he'll end up with some estate with enough money to live luxuriously with men. True. True. Civil War? You are correct. Liberal revolt in Scandinavia. She's a radical liberal. Why are you revolting against her? I can't even say his name. President Charles Lejean-Houvid. Lejean-Houvid. The fuck is that? Fucking Scandies. Yeah, true. It's the moderates versus the radicals. But she's got a conservative government, ironically. It's very weird. Scandinavian politics is fucking wild in this timeline. You have an agitator for a presidential republic. Francesco Zunica has appeared. Let's immediately expel him. Get the fuck out. He showed up on the dockyards of Cagliari, ready to spread radicalism, and the secret police picked him up 2 days later and threw him right back in the ocean. Oh my god. The British are supporting the liberals. our quality of life has gone up a little bit. Is Hess still a slave state? That's a good question. You're goddamn right. Simon Belung is still very much a bigoted slaver. Hesse is like the most cursed but like fucking wild shit of this campaign. The Germanic, Northern Germanic slave state where Germans are enslaving like other Germans. No, probably not mage. His ideology is literally slaver too, look at that. Germany and Britain just declared a rivalry. God damn it. Send our ambassadors. One day we will have united Italy. That day is not today. Has the Suez actually gotten workers yet? We're up to 294 workers in the Suez Canal, ladies and gentlemen. It's because coal is so expensive in part. America has so many cheap goods, don't they? Yeah, true. They really do need to fix the canal. But to be fair, I think they made the really good decision by, instead of working on, you know, important updates like the canal system, prioritizing the day-night cycle for $6. Good decision making right there. When I thought about the many updates Vic 3 needed after the 1.3 update, the first thing I thought of was, you know what? I think we need a day-night cycle. I'd also like to have an observatory somewhere on the map. And I think I'd like to pay $6 for that. That's the first thing I thought of. I don't know about you guys. This beamed straight into my brain. Military statistics. Beautiful. Let's do vacuum canning and then let's do shift work. Vacuum canning, we actually have the oil to do, so we'll be able to mass produce way more groceries now as well. Yeah, the sun doesn't even rise on the right side. That's the best part of it. Oh, I know, Gray. It's still funny to mock them for their bullshit. Aha! We actually have the oil for this too, I think. Oh my god, we do. The amount of groceries we're producing will really increase the quality of life in our country too. Good. No way. Oh, we need to play this right. Oh, fuck. Germany might join too. That would annul Castella's alliance with Germany, which would allow us to go to war with Castella. Or we can use this chaos to make a play for Italy and hope the Chagatai join and make this even more complicated. Factories in Sicily have been reporting to be placing Amazigh people into roles of incredibly poor working conditions. Our government isn't very racist, so conservatives are in control though, so we'll go with the bad one. He has not come of age yet. He's a moderate, but he's being kind of overseen by the conservatives. Put more focus into... We're going to max out law enforcement when we can here as well. Looks like Germany is not going to join the war. Shit. Got a little war in Africa. We'll win this no problem, though, so this isn't a big issue. We'll send Persico to win this. The last remnants of the once great Yorubaland Empire are about to be colonized in Central Africa. I'm gonna play some more music, too. Play classical for a while. We're not going to join this war. We're gonna attack one of these countries when they're being attacked by the Chagatai is what we're going to do. We're going to attack Britain or we're going to attack Castella here. This is a huge opportunity to go after either of their colonial empire. Germany won't be joining. Which means Castella will still have their alliance with Germany, but given Britain is now rivals with Germany, going to war with Britain is probably the play here. We can also go to war with Castella by doing that. Castella actually doesn't have an alliance with Germany anymore. Oh boy, we can declare war with Castella or Britain. We're gonna go to war with both of them. But we want to go to war with whoever has less allies, essentially. We have to fight Grand Colombia, which is very strong. Does Britain have any good big vassals left? British Peru, but they're not very big. Yeah, Britain's the one we want to go to war with here, I think. Right? Well. Declare a rivalry with them to start off with. We're going to embargo them. We were improving relations with them. Fuck. Start damaging. We can't anymore. We must have a treaty, though, don't we? Yeah. How long until? 3 more years. We don't have a peace treaty with the Castellans, though. So we have to go to war with them. And we have to wait for the diplomatic play. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go to war with Castalla. We're gonna try and take their lands in Greece, and then we're gonna probably try and take a little bit of the colonial lands. We'll take the West Indies. Is what we're gonna take here, I think. That'll give us a staging point to go after Cuba at some point as well. Yeah, exactly. Go for Greece, I think. Also, I think I'm going to stop here for today. I feel myself getting very tired. I'm on very little sleep, and I want to fight this war with a level head. It's a good place to start next week as well. So I think we're going to end here for today. I will hopefully be fully rested. So when we come back, we're going to be fighting Castalla. We'll fight a colonial war with Castalla and Britain. We'll try and take the Greek holdings. We'll take probably the West Indies, and then if the British join, we probably will go after South Africa as well. If we win this war, we'll be the third greatest power in the world, and we'll be much closer to being established and go after United Italy. Our final, basically, boss battle of Vic 3 is trying to take Italy, and it may end up actually almost being like early World War II. We have to go for that here. Because unless we get a much bigger army and some allies much quicker, we're not going to be able to contend Germany at present, even with our very powerful military. So... Took Madagascar? Oh, no, you are right. Castalla took Madagascar. We'll take that as well. Or we'll try to, at least. So, this will be a huge colonial war, and we'll be able to hopefully drag at least, hopefully, the Brazilians and maybe the Scandinavians into the war. Maybe America will go in, too. Actually, let me look real quick before we end. I can't. Shit. Alright. Well, we'll find out next week. For now, we're going to end. Take a nap, I think. Proper. Have a very good night, too, Slayer. God damn it, I was like Twitch. Not Twitter. Let's see what it's doing. My brain stops working. Okay, is there anyone on I want to raid? Not really. Are there any of Vic 3 streamers right now? A rare breed. Very rare breed. They're all speaking other languages. And this one guy's apparently playing World of Warcraft, so. Alright. No one really majored to stream here. Okay, we're called. I'll be back next Saturday. We're going to do more of the Grand Campaign then. I'll do a proper longer stream. And then Sunday, I will actually start the fucking Rimworld campaign. And in 2 weeks-ish, we're going to be starting also the next Victoria 3 multiplayer roleplay game. And I did get confirmation today. We're playing Japan on that. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I've already planned out a very cool, interesting thing I want to do with it. So be ready for that one. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good rest of your weekend. Have a good week. I will see you later.